Yo, what's up, guys? 5 month and 8 day check-in here. I'll talk to you guys about a couple things. Starting off with a little bit of a recap from when I first quit nicotine. And that at first, like I told you guys, and like I said in my first video that I posted on YouTube, is that I was struggling to accept the fact that I made the decision and I made the choice to quit nicotine. 5 months and 8 days later, I can say that I am fully at peace with my decision that I made to quit nicotine. Of course, at the beginning, it's hard to imagine a extenuated period of time where you're going to be persevering through. And a thing that I really learned from this experience is to do things in moderation, regardless of what that be, everything in moderation, because you do not want to become dependent on certain things that you're doing and not be able to depend on yourself. For example, when I used to be addicted to nicotine, I couldn't depend on myself to go a extended period of time without getting cravings, without wanting to hit nicotine, without even longer periods of time having mood swings, and all these things that the nicotine addiction affected me through. And now 5 months later and 8 days, I am at peace, like I said, with my decision to quit. And I think that that's something that needs to be learned for all sorts of people, regardless of if you struggle with drug addiction or not, that moderation is definitely a good rule of thumb when dealing with the substances or certain actions, certain activities, or really situations that we surround ourselves with, and that we combine energies with other people in. And I think that in order to find the root of what is going on, you need to detach from things that have you in a sort of bondage, or that have you bound. And in my case, it had been my nicotine addiction for about 5 to 6 years. And like I said, it has been 5 months and 8 days without nicotine. And I plan on continuing this regardless, and continuing this, staying strong, continuing to be a reminder to people who are struggling with addiction, whether it be with nicotine or other substances. This is a reminder that you can quit today, and the power is in your hands, and that it's up to you, right? It's up to you, all right, to make these things happen. And I wanted to say something, and I wanted to speak on the situation or scenario that, in a case you feel as if you are less, or you feel as if the world is going against you, or you feel as if purposely you are being held back, it is as follows. A shadow is a shadow, regardless of what's casting the shadow, whether it be a human being, whether it be a inanimate object, something that doesn't move like a tree, even though trees move. But the point being, whether it be a human or a tree that's casting a shadow, or any other object. The shadow is a shadow, no matter what. And I compare this just like the spirit is a spirit, no matter what. This is the spirit, shadow knowledge, and I will be making more videos in the future relating to the shadow self and why it is good to embrace the shadow self. And it's just something that I came to think of when I was looking at a shadow. I was in front of someone and I was covering their face with my shadow, and I asked them, hey, like, if you look at if you look at me, do you see the sun? Like, does the sun hit your eyes around the shadow? And of course, this side of their face was covered with the sun, but this side of their face was covered with the shadow, so they couldn't see anything. So the shadow was not permeated, or it wasn't afflicted by the external source of light, which would be the sun. And that just kind of goes to prove that, there's things that are eternal, right? Like the spirit, the shadow, as I like to say, at least for this example. And that's just something that I wanted to bring to your guys' awareness. Keep up with your guys' journeys. You got this, you got this, you got this. For quitting nicotine, like I said before, the power is in your hands. Do not just give up because you are struggling. Do not just give up and accept a life of comfortability. With this kind of thing like this, it's almost as if you're chasing discomfort for the first amount of time, and then you start to get into things that are comfortable situations, but then you end up being the one that wants to push yourself to discomfort, push yourself to keep growing, right? I say this a lot. Love regardless of what you're doing, as long as you're growing and at peace. So that's going to be it for the 8 month, and I'm sorry about that. It's going to be it for the 5 month, 8 day check-in. See you in the next one. Peace.